Alright, how's everybody doing? Hope you're doing good. Quick update on what's been happening. Pretty much be 2 weeks without much golf, which is probably just as well going into this. So, lead eye dominant and making sure that my head is now behind the ball. So basically I've moved from probably a position of here to a position of here. And then from there, eyes on the ball, and I'm able to swing under. Now, I'm swinging at 50% and I'm hitting it just as far, and it's coming out the middle of the golf club. I'm now hitting a draw. 20, 30 years I've never hit a draw in my life. It's thrown in an odd big number off the tee, but I'm playing through it, and I still will be practicing, hopefully, with this 2 weeks. And I won't be playing, hopefully. Be able to manage practicing. But there's a muscle down here, right? And obviously, if you swing over the top, or have been swinging over the top, you've never ever engaged this muscle. Because since moving my head, when I it's side bend stroke side crunch. So it's right in here, bottom of your rib sort of cage, sort of crunches a little as you go under and through. And it's a good sign if you feel it a bit tender. I've not like pulled it, I've not jarred it. It's just sore from actually being used. So it shows that I wasn't engaging it before at all. And it's because I'm now able to stay in posture, obviously I might move a little this way, but I'm not moving this way. So I'm able to go under, come through, and obviously, the reverse of that is you stretch this side of your body this way, and you crunch this side of your body this way, and then you come through. So I'm actually quite tender on this side and this side. It's not overly painful, but it's just I've engaged muscles that I haven't clearly been using, because I've probably been early extending a bit, standing up through the shot, coming out it, therefore not really getting any compression on the ball. And like that's what I'm saying, putting a 90-100% effort in, but getting hardly anything out, like less than 40% on the ball. Whereas now, 50% effort, 60% effort, but the whole thing's compressing the ball, and it's ridiculous how far the ball's going, with just like no effort whatsoever. However, we will need to start to sort of just gently train these muscles again, because these side muscles I just clearly aren't used to kind of working. So a bit of stretching this way, a bit of stretching that way, a bit of stretching there. See, they're just stiff from like not being used. And then obviously when I'm warming up, I'll maybe need to stretch that kind of way, and then stretch this kind of way, where you're stretching this side and you're sort of compressing, stretching this side, as well as obviously you need to do a bit of the both. But it's a good sign really. But I was supposed to play today, and after yesterday's round, I played really well, hitting the ball really well. Even the chap I was playing with, he was well impressed with the way I'm hitting the ball. And I didn't want to like say to him at the start of the round, because it was a tie, but I said to him afterwards, I says, I'm going through some quite big swing changes, and obviously I'm hitting a draw now, and I've never ever hit a draw, so you even he said, oh, well, that's quite a big change to make. And obviously there was a couple of shots I hit and I was just like, that's just so alien. Just watching it go, it's like, you know, a couple of hooks, basically. And you're just like, whoa, I never hit that shot. You know, it's like, that shot is just something I never do. So, we're playing through it, and that's what I say. He was commenting how good the swing looked. He was also commenting at how many, like, shots I hit straight down flags with either gap wedges or wedges 9/8, and yeah, I'd say I'm getting more comfortable with it, the changes. But like I say, just these wee things that you start feeling, you're like, well, clearly I wasn't ever engaging those muscles or using them. And I guess this all comes down to, if you're doing anything, you've got to be careful, because you're going to change things that you pretty much had no idea you weren't or were using. So anything you do should come with a bit of a disclaimer that you've got to be careful that you don't overdo it or like pull or tear a muscle, because that can be really quite bad to come through. So swinging at 50%, or even less than that, is actually a safe way of doing it if you're making a huge swing change. And like I say, and if you were measuring it, probably like you've moved your head that much from there to there. That doesn't seem like a lot, but it totally changes the way your shoulders and body can rotate through, compress and crunch, and up to a balanced finish. And it just shows you that that's not a lot of movement. But your head is such a big object on your shoulders and so heavy, it affects the whole rotational point in your swing. It also affects your low point and where the club's coming in, shallow through the swing and stuff, and all of that is hidden really in something that for years you've thought, well, my head's straight over the ball, but it's got to be straight over the ball and in line. So like your shoulders, hips, head, it's got to be square. So your heads can't be here. That's ahead of your alignment. You've got to have it pulled back slightly and tilted, and your eyes looking at the ball. And then that is all now on this. Like if you were trying the analogy of rocking the baby, you're rocking it this way. Yeah. If your head goes this way, then you're going to rock it this way. And that is over the top. And it's a small, tiny thing, but folks have it checked. You know, I'm just passing this on of what I've found. Get your pro to have a look at you and say, look, is my head in the right position? Do you think my head's where it should be? Because if you don't get this in the right position, you can do any manner of things, but nothing's going to help you because of the sheer weight fulcrum, right? So you can't fight against two things. You can't fight against gravity, and you can't fight against motion torque, because motion torque will tend to swing on that mass line. You know, the piece of string with the ball, you can attempt to manipulate it or fight it, but it will want to swing using gravity and torque on that pull line. It's just is your pull line here going through your body. So I would say, and I can probably I've started watching a lot of golfers too. Head position's the number one starting point. It's not anything else. You need a fundamental grip, but before all of that, you need to understand where your head has got to be, and then build everything around it. Otherwise, your head's in the wrong place, you try and build everything around it, and it just will not swing on that plain fulcrum pull line that you want it to go on. It's like the plumb bob. It's like if you plumb bob something at that point's fixed, right? And no matter what you do with that plumb point, it'll eventually rest in a vertical position. So think of your head like that. And if you set it in front of the ball, and it's in front of the ball, it can even be like a wee tiny little bit in front of the ball. And then unless you start to manipulate a move with your swing, that's how you know a lot of players talk about this. Yeah, they've laterally swaying, but they're laterally swaying, but they're going this way because of a fault, and they're trying to counter that fault. A set up position at start, whatever it is, a move off the ball, you've got to move back onto the ball. These are things like you really don't want to do, because that's like another multitude of different controls on a low point. Trying to make it easier, not harder. Right, thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll stretch these muscles out and ease them off and be back in the game. See you all soon, and thanks for watching, supporting the channel.